So I was having a really good conversation with a client the other day about not being so emotionally attached to any particular training style or particular movements. So a little bit of background on this client. She is focused on strength, the big three, squat, bench, and deadlift, but the deadlift in particular are her big goals. And so she's looking to build that up, but has been dealing with an injury the past several months that has been the hip and the back, the low back, and that has obviously prevented her from deadlifting the way that she's wanted to. She's on the mend, and we're starting to get back to hitting some PRs, so that's great. But we were having this conversation about not being so emotionally attached to any of these particular training styles or lifts, because if, for example, in her case, if all you're focused on is deadlifting and something happens that prevents you from being able to deadlift, now you have this choice of, okay, I guess I just won't work out, or you'll find another way to work out and just kind of make it happen. But that's not really a great relationship to have with the gym, is just making it happen. It requires a lot of mental effort, physical effort, and desire and passion to make progress happen in the gym, as I think we all know. And so if you can't imagine yourself lifting or performing in any other way outside of these very specific constraints, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where training circumstances aren't always ideal. So there could be an injury like what I've talked about with this client, or there could be like what I've experienced in the past, which is just simply burnout. You know, you do some of this for so long, and eventually it can kind of take a toll on you. The spark's not there like it used to be. And so whether that's strength or whether it's bodybuilding, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into this niche that this is all I do in the gym. Otherwise, I don't go to the gym. So it's totally okay, especially as a recreational lifter. If you're competitive, especially at a high level, you're a power lifter, bodybuilder, strongman, whatever. Obviously, there is more of an obligation to train in specific ways. That's a given. But if you're a recreational lifter, there's not money, sponsorships, whatever else attached to it, then there's nothing wrong with realizing that, okay, I've been training this certain way for a period of time. I need to change things up. I need to focus on different goals, incorporate different movements, something that still has me, at the end of the day, doing the essence of what we all love doing, getting in the gym, moving some weight around, okay? So whether that's lower reps with the big three, compound movements, focusing on strength, or whether it's isolation, machine lifts, higher reps, feeling a pump, there is a lot of overlap in those modalities anyway, but there's nothing wrong with having been very specific with your training for a long amount of time and realizing that the passion's simply not there anymore, and you need to mix it up to keep yourself in this healthy habit of going into the gym, keeping yourself strong, fit, all of that sort of stuff, which is a lot of my personal experience. I talked about in a previous video, first several years of training was all bodybuilding focused. Then it was more strength. Now it's come back to bodybuilding. And that's fine. I've continued to make progress along the way. I've gotten stronger. I've gained muscle. I've done all of these things that I've very much enjoyed. But these changes had to happen for me to continue showing up and putting in the work. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to stop lifting. And I think that that's the essence of what I'm talking about here, is making sure that you don't feel that you're married to any particular style of training or particular movements. For anyone out there who may be struggling with your, gym identity of, okay, I've been a bodybuilder all this time, but, I'm just not feeling it anymore, or powerlifter or strongman or whatever, have a conversation with yourself about what am I doing here in the gym? What am I really trying to accomplish? And what matters most? Does it matter most that I stubbornly press on and make sure it's the same thing that I've been doing to squeeze out a little bit more progress in this very specific direction? Or should I look at some of these other methods that are novel and new, and at the very least it's an opportunity to try something different while still doing the basics of lifting weights? Because at the end of the day, that's a lot of all we're doing in here is we're picking stuff up and we're putting it down. There's different ways we can do it, but we don't have to get so narrow-minded with exactly where we have to take these things as far as just strength, just hypertrophy, just whatever else. If you need to change it. If you're not a professional, you're doing this recreationally, it's a hobby that you take seriously. I take it seriously, but it's still, there is no make or break, there is no major thing hinging on if you take a break from some deadlifts and start focusing more on bicep curls. That is by no means the end of the world. Also, some time away from what might be a bit burnt out for you can reignite that spark for that thing. So you come back to it much more fresh after some time off. You've experienced something different. You've made some progress in a different area, which can help keep you overall more well-rounded. And then maybe you get back to that thing that you used to love and are finding that you love it again. This was a really good conversation with my client and I that I found helpful as kind of some reassurance for myself. I think she found it helpful as well. And hopefully some of you guys do too. So if that resonates with you, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'll see you later.